Hey everybody, Person1 here, and welcome to episode 8 of my XCOM The Bureau playthrough. In the last episode, Carter successfully rescued De Silva and infiltrated an alien tower and was able to recover a phase plotter, which they will use with their XCOM's new UFO, the Avenger. Let's go see what it's like back at base.
That tower's still sending people to the other side. If we act quick enough, we can launch a rescue op before... you want to tell me what's going on here?
I asked the lab to devise a test to root out any more infiltrators. We're testing everyone going in or out of the base. Take them to quarantine.
Too bad about De Silva. Falk?
Heinrich has isolated one of...
Mosaic's imperative commands. To humans, it's simple noise. But to an outsider...
So much more. Proceed, Doctor.
He's reacting.
That shouldn't be happening.
Higher!
I am William
Carter. William.
Carter!
Agent Carter, I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you.
Where's Julia?
While you were away, there was an accident.
What? Bullshit. What accident?
A fire. At your house in Arlington. Julia and Richard.
Unfit for duty. You're drunk, Agent. Go home and sleep it off.
Jules. Buried before I could say goodbye.
This is your third disciplinary hearing, Agent.
Let me go.
You got me, Will.
Let me help them. Let me go. Let me go.
Awake now, are we?
Yeah. He convinced I'm human yet?
You're alive, aren't you?
Something like that.
Well, you should be fine. The director left an order to send you to talk to him as soon as you woke up. I wouldn't keep him waiting.
Well, that was interesting. Let's check the dispatch message. Nice, he leveled up to 4. These guys leveled up as well, that's pretty good. Alright.
Excuse me, Mr. De Silva. Let me just get another sample. Yes, of course. Good luck to you too, Nico.
That's De Silva down there. Looks like they got him back in one piece.
Luck. Carter. Carter? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Anybody? Am I dead? Isn't there supposed to be something? Is someone out there? Who's there? Who are you? Carter? Somebody help!
That was odd. Infirmary personnel. It has come to our attention that the new audio turn security screenings... Infirmary personnel. It has come to our attention that the new audio tone security screening has adverse reactions when performed on infected sleepwalkers. While outsiders display markedly increased aggression as a response to the tone, infected sleepwalkers display physiological signs of increased stress and agation consistent with intense pain. While we are studying the disturbing implications of this connection between outsiders and infected humans, we must regretfully remind all personnel but that does not mean that infected personnel can be excluded from mandatory security screening. Dr. Hara.
Doctor, if you have a moment.
Absolutely. At this point, most of my patients are sleepwalkers anyway, and they're not getting any worse. Unfortunately, they're not getting any better either.
How are the infected, Doctor?
They're stable, but that's not exactly a good thing. Nurses make sure they're fed and cleaned. That's all we can do for now.
That's better than nothing.
It's like a ward full of coma patients, except they keep talking to themselves.
Any chance of finding a cure?
We've got a variety of tests running at the moment, but our first attempts were not pretty.
So it's not as simple as scraping the black goo off their faces.
We tried that. You don't want to see what's underneath.
What's happening to the sleepwalkers anyway?
We're still trying to figure that out. Their autonomic system thinks it's in a coma, but something else is influencing their physical actions.
You mean they're getting orders from somewhere?
Only on a very basic level, like how they move toward the alien tower you saw.
Any idea how they're getting these commands?
We think it has to do with the silicoid substance on their faces. It might be functioning like the Mosaic control centers we find in Outsiders.
All the more reason to track down Mosaic and put a stop to it. I suppose there's not much more you can do for now.
We'll keep on testing. Until then, all we can do is keep them comfortable.
So, the lockdown situation is over. Big deal. I just don't see the difference.
Right. I mean, whoop-de-doo, the doors might be open, but where is there to go?
5 minutes out there and you're gonna find yourself right back under the ground.
At least we're buried alive.
New security protocol to all base personnel. With the development of an effective infiltrator screening test by Dr. Dresner and Dr. Weir, I can announce that we have now completed a full test of the base's personnel. I'm happy to announce that you are all human and our security lockdown can be lifted somewhat. However, we cannot afford to become complacent. Any staff that returns to the base will be subject to another screening, and base management reserves are the right to perform random, mandatory screenings as necessary. As before, all screenings will be accompanied by at least 2 armed guards. We thank you for your vigilance. With your assistance, we shall persevere. Director Falk.
Hey, Carter, I heard about De Silva. Tough choice, but you did the right thing, son. How are you holding up, Carter?
I've had better days.
Whole human race has had better days.
How are we holding up?
Pretty well, actually. We keep taking in more people, but Barnes has those choppers flying day and night, recovering food and gear from storehouses.
We might make it through this yet.
Oh, well, I still wouldn't bet on us. But we've got a fighting chance, and I hear that's thanks to you.
Now that you've seen the sleepwalkers, what do you think?
Well, it's worse than I thought. But at least they're safe in the infirmary. But even so... no, never mind.
What's bothering you?
Look, it's not right to mention it, but we're losing a lot of food and water taking care of them. Without them, we'd have another 4 months of supplies.
What else would you recommend?
Well, nothing right now. But if this war turns into a long haul, we'll have to ask ourselves if we can afford to be so merciful.
Your old buddy Falk nearly had me shot.
Not the first time. Might have been a couple of times he nearly shot me, too.
This isn't a joke.
No, son. No, it's not. It's real goddamn life, and there's a lot more at stake than your ego. So walk it off, and try to remember that he's watching out for our whole species.
But what if he starts abusing his authority?
If that happens, I'll stand right beside you. But just fight one war at a time.
That's everything I need.
All right then. Good luck out there, Carter.
Okay, so Yara's, one of our engineers, has leveled up to rank 4, and that means he gets his turret. Now there's 2 turrets available, a rocket turret and a laser turret. Now I usually run with the laser turret, best mainly because it's good at short and mid ranges, and well, there aren't a lot of long range fights in this game. yeah, usually I go with the laser turret, but you know, the rocket turret's pretty decent as well, so why not? I mean, we have 2 engineers anyway.
The engineer provides heavy firepower by deploying an automated rocket launcher to target long and medium-range enemies.
That, and it's probably pretty decent against sectopods and mutons as well. Our Andrew Pittman, our support, has also ranked up to level 4, and he gets to choose these 2 options. This one reduces damage when he gets a revive order, and this one which increases the potency of combat stims. Also, as a default unlock, he also gets this, which makes all squad abilities last longer. This is one of the reasons why I really like supports in my squad, as their automatic perks are really great for the rest of the team. This one makes all squad abilities last longer. Yeah, this one's effectively a medical pack, just as an ability, so you can take a different pack if you wanted to. But for this guy, I think we shall go with medical breakthrough, because combat stims is fun. Very fun. We've got Sinclair, a recon, who's at level 4 now, where he gets the choice between Crack Shot, which recharges critical strike faster, and Armor Piercer, which makes critical strike do a lot better damage against armor and shields. So now the question is, do we want more critical strikes or more effective critical strikes against heavy units? Honestly, we've got 3 recons right now, so, and given how all the rest of his ranks have been from the left tree, let's go with this.
Seen anything interesting in the field?
You know how it is. Rampaging alien hordes, bolts of deadly blue plasma, walking death machines from another world. All in a day's work.
You make it sound like an issue of Captain Thunderbolt.
I don't have to try very hard.
What the hell has Falk so paranoid?
You mean more paranoid than usual? Doesn't trust anybody but Weaver. God knows why.
Weaver's always been a good agent. Certainly better than you.
Except I'm not the one getting into screamy matches with the old man, am I?
We're done here.
I don't know how anyone could have mistaken you for an alien. They have better senses of humor.
Another infected. William, could I have a word with you?
We need to talk about that test of yours.
My most sincere apologies for what happened at your screening, William. But as you can see, we have a more pressing matter at the moment. This man is infected.
That's never happened in the base before. Or is this another unexpected side effect of your test, Doc?
Nine. I'm quite sure this is from an outside source. But I need your help to find out where, and to do it without causing a panic.
This agent's turning into a sleepwalker, and I've seen how that goes. Unless you found a cure, I don't see how you're gonna help.
It's not a cure, but it may be the first step.
Well, what is it?
I have discovered a way to detect sleepwalker infections at an early stage, before the symptoms present. It will let us treat the subjects earlier, or at least get a better understanding of the conversion process.
Another test, Doctor?
Not to fear, William. This time you will be the one performing the test. And quietly, if at all possible.
The last thing we need is an infection scare.
Precisely. Thankfully, the detector will find any infected within a large area. Here, check in operations, engineering, the main lab, the briefing room, and the hangar. That should cover the base.
And if I find any other infected?
Send them to see Dr. Hera. I will meet you there, and perhaps we can help these men.
During the screening, it felt like my head was going to explode. Any idea what happened?
I have no idea. Perhaps it was some resonance from your earlier exposure to the alien artifact. Tell me, how did it feel?
Like someone was inside my skull using a hammer, trying to break free. It was all I could do to stay conscious.
Yes. And you said something, too. Your name? Perhaps your rank as well?
Hell if I know. For a few seconds, it was all just a red haze.
Well, I am glad you are with us again, my friend.
You said that noise during the screening was something from Mosaic. How did you discover that?
Dr. Veer has been examining the device removed from our captive infiltrator. It would appear that this is how they receive commands from their Mosaic network.
So they're radio-operated?
Not quite. But it seems to give them a sort of subconscious connection to a larger command hierarchy.
And you used the command for attack. You couldn't pick something safer, like dance?
Our control is too crude for specific commands, only general urges. And violence is a very common response, William.
I'll be on my way.
As you say. But if you would like, I have some experiments I could perform on the...
No. I'll check for infected, but I've spent quite enough time as your guinea pig for today, Doc.
Damage report from Pima, New Mexico. Pima, New Mexico has been lost and is to be considered a dead zone. Transport spire visible from outside of the city. Numerous sleepwalkers seen shuffling towards it from the surrounding city. Many evacuated, but enemy presence and reinforcements prevent continued evacuation. Conclusive evidence shows that the sleepwalkers are non-hostile. Infection methods still uncertain, but the case study of Agent Nico da Silva suggests that prolonged exposure to certain environmental effects may be a cause. However, exposure to infected themselves still appears safe, as seen in case files from the other retrieved, quarantined survivors. Despite the loss of Da Silva's team, the information attained from inside the transport spire will be invaluable to our research. Mission is a qualified success.
What are they doing with all those sleepwalkers? You read the report. Seems pretty clear, right?
What do you mean?
They come to our world, capture our populace, and pack them off into ships to take home. You remember your American history classes?
Oh, you don't mean...
Maybe. Like they say, what goes around comes around.
I hope you have something useful to tell me.
Maybe. We've been reading your reports, particularly your communication with Axis.
Any brilliant new discoveries?
More like some terrible suspicions.
Any idea how the infection spread?
It's less common around rivers and lakes. I suspect there's some sort of freshwater plant or fish that maybe inhibits the infection.
But do you know how it spreads?
Sadly, no. But we're reasonably certain that it isn't transmissible between humans. Otherwise, you agents would have come down with it already.
That's comforting. Any idea where they're taking the sleepwalkers?
Back to their homeworld, we assume. Unless they're taking humans to some sort of intergalactic cattle auction.
I don't know what's worse. That we're being taken, or that we might be bought and sold by these things.
Humans have done it to one another for thousands of years. What makes you think aliens would be any nicer?
Any idea why they're taking humans at all?
We've got some theories, but nothing is certain. And none of it is pretty.
How bad?
The best case scenario is that they're being taken to their homeworld as slaves. But it could be a lot worse than that. The word livestock has come up a couple of times.
I think I get the point. Well, this was depressing. Thanks.
Think of it as more encouragement to fight. Good luck, Carter.
All right, boys. Get your gear in order and gather around.
This gonna be another rescue cakewalk, sir? Or are we gonna see some action?
Nothing so boring this time, Kinney. No. This time we're going into the belly of the beast.
All right. It's about time.
Some of those sleepwalkers are congregating at a tower out in New Mexico. We're gonna find out why and shut them down.
You sure we won't catch anything being around all those sleepwalkers?
You just worry about us getting into that tower. Alive.
Yes, sir.
This is gonna be an extended stay. Investigating the area, finding a point of entry, and infiltrating. We're gonna keep a low profile. Until we can strike.
Less John Wayne and more James Bond?
That's the spirit. And if we're lucky, we might even find a cure for the sleepwalkers.
Is that even possible?
Hell if I know. But we gotta hope, right? Otherwise, why are we still fighting?
Heard about your little welcome home party, Carter. Glad to see you're still in one piece.
The silicoid, or simply blob, is an enigmatic creature. It is composed of a uniformly similar semi-solid silicon-based material, with no evidence of connective materials or anything resembling controlling or processing centers. However, when an electrical charge is applied to the substance, it can form shapes, constrict, or even respond to external stimuli. However, this activity can be ceased by disrupting the material's cohesion, most readily through violent trauma. While such abstract technology proves difficult to fully understand, we may be able to control and direct it on our own terms, as well as developing further uses for silicoid materials.
I gotta say, I was pretty relieved when I passed that crowd's test.
Officer, is the prisoner behaving himself?
Huh? Oh, yes. He's been quiet.
Something on your mind?
Sorry, Carter. It's just... I've had a lot on my mind recently.
How's our friendly local infiltrator doing?
He's been pretty quiet since you had a talk with him. Almost like he's meditating or something. But I couldn't say what's going through his head.
Our last talk was rather revealing. Any chance I could talk with him again?
I don't recommend it. But if you go in there, we'll have witnesses on hand to make sure the person who walks out is still you.
Better than having to take that test again. What's wrong? Must be pretty important to bother a trooper like you.
It's my girl back in Iowa. She's been taking care of some survivors in a big farmhouse, and she sends transmissions every day, but...
But what?
Latest transmission, she sounded really tired. And, said she found traces of black goo on her pillow.
Shit. I'm sorry.
They're already sending a team to recover as many of them as possible. I just hope she gets back here in time.
Is this going to affect your duties?
No. No, sir, not at all.
See that it doesn't. Remember who you're guarding here. Be careful, Rose. A distracted guard is a dead guard. Either get over it, or get a replacement.
Yes, sir. It won't be a problem, sir.
And, good luck.
Welcome back, William Carter. It is pleasant to see a familiar face.
You're in a good mood for a prisoner of war?
As are you. Which means you have recovered a phase plotter. So you plan to go through with your suicidal attack?
So, you really want to see the end of Mosaic? Tell us where they're taking the sleepwalkers, and how do we cure them?
I would not know. I am a warrior, not a scholar. I do not know if it can be cured.
We'll see. You must know something about Axis. If we go after him, what should we expect?
Axis? The Primarch. You are an ambitious creature, William Carter.
Axis, Primarch, whatever you call him.
He is wise and patient. There is a reason Mosaic called him to lead. Do you think it a coincidence that your planet fell so quickly to him?
He's not that smart. We've already tracked him down.
Of course you have. He will let you come to him and then he will destroy you. This is suicide, William Carter.
What are you called?
You do not understand how Mosaic functions. When we are connected, we are Mosaic. Individual names are unimportant.
You're not connected anymore. What do you call yourself now?
I do not know. I have never been concerned with it.
Maybe you should. Help us win, and I'll call you whatever you want. Stick around.
Do I have a choice?
Of course not.
Be cautious, William Carter.
Okay. Weird Dresner Screening Protocol. Director Falk, after much study of the Mosaic communication device extracted from Infiltrator November, Dr. Dresner and myself had made progress in understanding the nature of the outsider communication. This leads to our practical application for security screening. By playing a combination of tones, one at approximately 4 kHz and the other at exactly 18.25 Hz, we appear to be able to recreate a Mosaic violence imperative. Any outsider exposed to this will be overwhelmed with sensations of aggression and panic, regardless of condition or disguise. However, to humans, this combination merely produces a high-pitched hum, and perhaps a certain sensation of movement. Note that this tone must be administered carefully, as the human eyeball has a resonant frequency of 18.98 Hz. So a poorly adjusted tone can cause pain, headaches, and temporary visual hallucinations. Details of our research are attached. We trust this will assist in security screening. Dr. Alan Weir.
Don't even start.
No, really. If we pull through, this technology's gonna change the world.
Got some news for you. It already did.
Salvage Report Titan. Study of the limited sample of Titan material collected by intrepid XCOM agents shows many shared properties with the substance constituting silicoids. Whether Titans or silicoids are themselves sentient and can be regarded as living or are merely examples of highly advanced technology remains uncertain. Titans are massive airborne enemies, capable of shifting both shape and function. Field agents are strongly advised to find hardened cover when the Titan shifts into a distinctive O-shaped firing form, although this does expose what appears to be a vulnerable control core. Unfortunately, you only ever end up fighting a Titan once, and we've done it. So...
What have you got on the drawing board today, Doc?
Oh, the usual. A few weapons you brought in, some subsystems for the Avenger, and a couple of side projects for when we rebuild society.
Got any new weapons for the field?
Murphy and I have had a lot of luck with what you've recovered, but it's not exactly easy to hybridize their designs with our own.
Seemed to work well enough for the Avenger.
To be perfectly honest, we couldn't have done that without Dr. Weir's genius. Although, he seems to have some ethical disagreements with munitions development.
How's the Avenger coming?
Slowly, but surely. Dr. Weir's been installing the Vengate, and considering the stresses the Avenger would face, we had to reinforce its hull significantly.
I'm still impressed it can get off the ground at all.
Isn't Dr. Dresner's omni-propulsion system astounding? In fact, if we could channel its energy into a single target, I suspect we could achieve a kinetic impact equivalent to...
Snap out of it, Doc. One thing at a time. It's a bit early to talk about rebuilding society, but I'm curious to see what you got.
It's nothing much, but, well, I've been examining what little we could recover from the Outsider seeds. Imagine if we could replicate them.
That would certainly make it easier to rebuild, all right.
Yes, indeed. Why, America could use them to build refugee shelters, revitalize devastated areas, maybe even expand and colonize into ex-Soviet territory.
I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
Of course, other nations may mistake this for continued alien attack, but the great thing about these seeds is that they could create bunkers and military fortifications, as well as...
Doc.
Oh, sorry.
I've got other business to take care of. Good luck, Doc.
Yes, of course.
Well, doctors, got yourselves a new toy?
I assure you, the Elerium coil transfer rifle is no toy. What I mean to say is that we are testing a potential weapon for Mr. Barnes.
Don't we already have access to the Outsider's weaponry? Have you improved on it?
There is always room for improvement, Carter. Always a smoother transfer mechanism, or a more advantageous dispersal pattern to search for.
And you've just gotta find it, don't you?
Or die trying. So to speak.
How does this monstrosity work?
It's very simple, really. Imagine a Tesla coil, only with its voltage focused through a charged Elerium ballistic delivery system.
In English?
It's a lightning cannon.
I can see how that would be useful. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to fit that into a holster.
Yes, very funny. But once we test the fundamentals, we can work on the miniaturization.
And it'd still be useful?
Oh yes. By combining our ballistics know-how with the enemy's energy weapons, we are on the cusp of a new horizon in weaponry.
Combining alien technology and our own. Interesting. You need any help testing it out?
We were hoping you would ask. Our usual assistant seems to have disappeared again. Not literally disappeared, mind you. No, of course not. That never happens.
You were saying?
Yes, the machinery is in position. Just press the button and stand clear. And try not to disappear.
That's all I need to know.
Yes, I'm sure you will be a great help. Only appropriate that a field agent be involved. And all that.
If you'd be so kind as to press the button on the device, we can continue testing.
Alright, let's do this.
I'm not sure that's gonna be much use in the field, doctors.
Oh dear.
Let me just adjust the discharge levels. Yes, try it again.
Backing up this time.
That looks more like it.
Quite satisfactory. But I believe we can do better.
Increasing power levels again. Try now.
think you've still got some problems to iron out, doctors.
Is everyone all right?
Better than all right. Did you see the yield? Off the charts.
It's a miracle we weren't killed. Fantastic!
Okay.
Carter, you hear Weaver and Falk screaming at each other earlier? I've never seen those two disagree like that.
I want you to check and double-check everything. If you went over it, go over it again, and again, just to be sure. Carter, you'll never believe what we found. We caught a spy sneaking into the Avenger. A damn spy. Here.
Shit. Did he do any damage?
Don't think so. We're double-checking. But I think we got him before he could do much.
Another outsider infiltrator. God damn it.
Not an outsider. A Russian. We get attacked by aliens, and we still have to keep our eyes open for Reds. Those commie bastards never give up.
Huh. A Russian agent here. I should talk to him. He might be useful.
You've got to be kidding. A Russian? As soon as Falk gives the word, the only thing that spy will be useful for is target practice.
Cool it, Barnes. I want to see what he has to say. Right now, being human matters more than being a commie.
Fine. He's in the foreman's office. But I still think you should just put a bullet in his head.
Here to talk with the Russian? Seems like a lost cause to me, but good luck.
He's a potential agent. We need all the high-level agents we can get. Of course we're gonna talk to this guy.
Ну, если ты это хочешь, я думаю, мы поговорим. Я думаю, что найду русского здесь. Как вы узнали об этом месте?
Мы все видим. Нас здесь больше, чем ты даже представляешь. Ваша охрана просто причальная.
Да, я начинаю соглашиваться с вами.
Вы убьете меня?
Я не знаю, если вы заметили, но холодная война отметнена. У нас гораздо серьезнее гроза. И у вас тоже.
Пришельцы? Да, я слыхал эту историю. Вы думаете, что я совершенно глупой?
Слушай, я был там, вверху. Все правда. Половина мира мертвая, а другая половина зараженная. Не может быть, что только нас ударили. Я обещаю, что двоим друзьям сестер так же плохо, как и здесь. Но если какой-либо из них все еще жив...
Да это просто смешно. Как ты можешь это доказать, а? Голоса по радио и подделанные фотки? Скажи мне, почему я должен верить в твою сказку?
Убийство вас будет траты. Кто знает, как долго ты здесь скрывался? У тебя есть таланты, нам нужны агенты. Эти посторонние не только американская проблема.
Ты думаешь, это сработает? Ха. Ты слабый. Вы все слабые.
Даю тебе предложение. Я пошлю тебя на палубу. Сам можешь убедиться. Если то, что говорю, верно, вы работаете на меня. Если нет, вы можете убить на Кубу.
Если я не позволяю себя обманывать?
Что ты заботишься? У вас будет оружие. Вы будете отсюда. Так или иначе, вы не будете моей проблемой.
Ладно. Дай мне увидеть этих пришельцев для себя.
Довольно иметь вас на борту.
Hope you don't mind me listening in, but I think you did the right thing. We need all the help we can get.
Yes, we do.
That commie is something, but I think he's gonna come around.
You can't trust him, Carter.
Well, it's humans against aliens right now, not Americans against Russians. I need someone to take him out to see what the aliens have done firsthand.
If you say so. I'll set up a recon mission. Let's just hope he remembers who the good guys are. Here you had a grand old time with Falk.
Oh, it was swell.
Could be worse. They kept me in detention for an hour while they were cleaning up the testing room after your little shindig.
Did anyone attack you?
Guess you win. What's on your mind?
So what's happening with the Sky Rangers?
After I saw that Titan, I had the whiz kids in the lab adapt some of the Avenger designs for our old ships.
What sort of changes are we talking about?
Nothing revolutionary, but the Sky Rangers will be faster, stronger, and more durable.
And we're sure the new technology will be safe in the field?
Only one way to find out, Carter.
How's the Avenger looking?
Almost finished from what I hear. If the final product handles anything like the early tests, it'll be the smoothest ride of your life.
As long as it gets the job done.
You just get the location from Axis, and the Avenger and I will get you there.
I'll let you get back to it.
Will do. I'll have this bird ready for the next trip before you know it.